Today on Refined, from agent to artist.
But I got home, told my wife, I said, hey, this isn't going to work. I said, I'm going to go to art school.
How this Northwest talent turned his back on the FBI to become a Comic-Con sensation. Then we hit the highway for a bird's eye view of, well, birds.
All the white over there?
That white is all geese.
Holy man.
The story behind Skagit County's gaggle of snow geese. And we're gearing up for Hollywood's biggest night. We'll break down the races with one of Seattle's movie masters. Seattle Refined starts now. Hi everybody, welcome to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. You know, for Seattle comic book nerds, superhero dweebs, and sci-fi geeks, today is the biggest day of the year. That's because Emerald City Comic-Con is back. The four-day celebration of all things pop culture kicked off today at the Washington State Convention Center. And Refined caught up with one of the artists in the middle of the action.
I can't put it into words. It's overwhelming when somebody brings up my books and they talk about that they were the reason they came.
For Jeffrey Verighi, meeting fans never gets old. There was a time, not so long ago, when he was just a fan himself.
It amazes me that people search me out and do that because I used to do the same thing. I still do the same thing. It's hard not to geek out.
Verighi may still get starstruck from time to time, like a few years back when he met the legendary Stan Lee.
It's all about the shape.
But now he's a rising star in his own right. A comic book artist who's gained a serious following thanks to his unique style. A mix of traditional graphic design techniques and Native American formline design.
I've got to work on Star Trek. I've got to work on Spider-Man, X-Men, Transformers, G.I. Joe. You know, everything that I've loved as a kid. I wish I could go back and tell that kid that you get to work, you're going to work on all these someday and you're going to have a lot of fun doing it.
Jeffrey's success is the culmination of a journey more than 20 years in the making, a personal quest to pursue his dreams. Like all good stories, his starts with a decision, one that would ultimately change the course of his future.
I was in tribal council, actually, and I was sitting in on an interview with the FBI. I was given an opportunity to be an intern and then an agent.
Jeffrey is a member of the Port Gamble Sklallam tribe. As a newly married man and a new father, the FBI offered a stable career path, but it wasn't his passion.
But I got home, told my wife, I said, hey, this isn't going to work. I said, I'm going to go to art school.
After graduation, he studied with David Boxley, a Tsimshian master carver from Alaska. For a time he painted, but something was missing.
Every time I created a piece, I was thinking, okay, will this sell? I need to make sure this sells. Will people like this? And it was the wrong philosophy, the wrong way to create things.
So Jeffrey decided to start having some fun, using aspects of formline design to create comic book art.
The aha moment really was, I'm going to say when I started doing the Batman. When I did the Batman, I was like, wow, this is working. It looks like Batman, but it feels like it's my voice.
It's a style that's all his own, one that puts him squarely at the center of pop culture, all while showcasing his culture.
I'm telling stories now of today, and that's what's so cool about it, is that it's continuing on. It's a continued tradition of storytelling. And I'm just doing the stories that I know.
In telling the stories of these heroes, Jeffrey is continuing to write his own. Each character, each piece of art, a new chapter. Up next, Demicon, his first original book, and a massive new project that will see him working with some huge names.
I am super excited about this. It's been 2 years in the making.
We know it's in store, but we're not saying. After all, this is Jeffrey's story. It's one that's still far from finished, but when it is, oh, what a story it will be.
Anytime you get to do an iconic character and put your thumbprints on the history of that character is an amazing feeling. You know, that's going to be in the archives. You can't take that away. That my kids, my grandkids, they will all see that and say, Grandpa did that, you know, and I'm looking forward to those days when they can, you know, it's just that pride of being able to add something to characters and worlds you love so much.
Of course, you can learn everything you need to know about Emerald City Comic-Con by going on our website, SeattleRefined.com. But if you don't know much about it, here's a sneak peek of what you can expect.
I'm Constantine, and this is Swamp Thing
And
from DC Universe.
And what brings you guys to Comic-Con?
Mostly cosplay, just dressing up in crazy outfits, walking around, and trying to have a good time. We try to have a different costume for every day, so we'll have 3 other costumes going on for the next 3 days of the convention.
I'm a Sith version of Mace Windu instead of the Jedi Council member. I'm an evil version of him.
I'm Finn from
The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Yeah, this is my lightsaber.
And how long have you been coming to Comic-Con?
Years. I don't remember. I love the community. As you can tell, I'm a cosplayer, and the cosplay community is really strong here in Seattle.
Can I ask you a couple questions? Is this your first Comic-Con?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
What are you dressed as?
Supergirl.
Is she your favorite superhero?
Sure.
How old are you?
3.
What are you excited to do when you go in there?
I don't know.
We are Harry Potter characters. Like, I love the cosplayers, like all the different costumes, like seeing people dressed up. Like a guy was in this huge Bumblebee costume on these huge stilts. It was like totally the coolest thing.
my favorite part too.
Or the girl was 11 from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I am a Hugh Hefner Deadpool. I usually have a little plastic pipe, but it was just too much to carry, and then I went out of my way and bought this, so I don't know why, I just didn't bring it.
I'm just a lazy Deadpool. It's his day off.
I'm Dee Dee from Rugrats.
And I'm Marie from the Aristocats.
Every year, like I come and I see all the costumes, I'm like, shoot, I should have done it. I should have planned it. I should have, so this year I'm like, nope, I'm doing it. I'm going full in. And
Well, I'm dressed as a version of Green Arrow. The idea is vet gone vigilante. So a lot of this stuff is like, well, this guy's fighting crime with stuff he got at a surplus store.
People, pictures,
Ring pops.
chimichangas,
Ring pops.
ring pops.
And make sure to check out our comprehensive Emerald City Comic-Con galleries all weekend on SeattleRefined.com. From sci-fi to a Broadway smash, everyone around the office can't stop humming the soundtrack to Hamilton. The Tony Award-winning musical is playing right now at the Paramount Theater. If you have a chance to go see it, I went and it's fantastic. It runs through March 18th, and you can still score $10 tickets through the Hamilton Online Ticket Lottery. You can learn more on our website. If you can't snag Hamilton tickets, how about a modern spin on Romeo and Juliet? That's the new show taking the stage at the Can Cabaret at Pike Place Market. We're told it's a fresh take on the tale of star-crossed lovers told through comedy, dance, and a brand new soundtrack. Sounds like it could be fun.
Is Jeopardy.
Seattle Refined is just getting started.
I don't know how I know that. I kind of wish I didn't know that, but I know that.
Meet the local Jeopardy champ who hit the jackpot after hitting rock bottom. But first,
We just saw a bald eagle hanging out in that tree. There's literally wildlife everywhere around us.
our roving refined photographer goes in search of a rare winter sight. Find out where birds of a feather really do flock together. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Garrett Swanson. You know, I've lived in the Northwest for a quarter century, and I thought I knew it pretty well. But hosting this show, I am always surprised at all the new things that I learn. For instance, have you ever heard of the Skagit Valley snow geese? Well, I didn't know much about it either, but our roving staff photographer, Cy Bean, knows all about it. And with the help of our sponsor, Western Washington Toyota dealers, we went out to find them. So let's not waste another second. Let's go places.
We're on our way to the Skagit Valley area right now to photograph the snow geese migration, which happens every year.
There's a lot of photogenic spots around Western Washington, but there's one jaw-dropping spectacle you can only capture once a year. It's the time when tens of thousands of snow geese migrate to Skagit Valley for the winter. Refined photographer Cy Bean headed north of Seattle, hoping to get the perfect shot. He traveled in a sporty and stylish 2018 Toyota Avalon touring model. The ride is sleek, comfortable, and boosts a V6 engine while still getting 30 miles per gallon.
It's handling great in the rain, and I got the cruise control on, and my phone's charging wirelessly. It should be a pretty good day. See what happens. Wow. We just saw a bald eagle hanging out in that tree. There's literally wildlife everywhere around us.
On any given day, you never know exactly where the birds are going to be, but Cy got lucky.
Oh, the white over there?
That white is all geese.
Holy man. There's thousands, there just has to be thousands of them hanging out in the field. We're gonna have a lot of awesome shooting opportunities today. A lot of failures. God, they're loud. So there are thousands of geese, but how many geese are there actually back here?
Sure, so we have, the group is split into two today, some here in Mount Vernon, some across the river over in Burlington. Between the two, there's over 100,000 birds.
WSU bird expert Don McMorrin says these geese put some serious stamps on their passports.
All the way from Wrangel Island in Russia.
All the way over from Russia?
Yeah.
That's right. These snow geese fly more than 5,000 miles to vacation in the Northwest for the winter, and local farmers don't mind it at all.
So what is the role farmers play here with the geese coming down?
Right, so as you're looking behind me, we've got a nice grass field. This is planted by a local dairy farmer, and they're gonna harvest this grass this spring as well as summer and feed it to their cows. But in the meantime, you know, it's providing some great habitat for these birds.
These birds have become such a tourist hit for Skagit Valley. This February, they launched the first ever Snow Geese Festival to attract more visitors.
Oh, there we go.
As for Cy, he got the perfect shot and then some. Now time to head home in the Avalon. To check out Cy's gallery of these Skagit geese, head to our website. And if you want to learn more about the Avalon Touring or any model of Toyota, head to your Western Washington Toyota dealers or visit their website, buyatoyota.com. Coming up on Refined, who's going to take home Oscar Gold? We handicap the Academy Horse Race.
8509.
Plus, a local Jeopardy champ cashes in on life's daily double. Here at Seattle Refined, we never get tired of hearing from you. Like us on Facebook, tweet us your story ideas, or shoot us an email telling us what you want to see on the show. You can find our inbox at hello@seattlerefined.com. Seattle Refined will be right back. Roll out the red carpet and break out the champagne. Hollywood's biggest night is almost here. Are you ready for Oscar Sunday?
Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. You know, I don't know about you, but Oscar Sunday is always a big party at my house.
I invite over the entire Refined staff. We have some drinks, we critique everyone on the red carpet, and then settle in for the awards. And if you don't know a lot of the movies nominated this year, no problem. Refined's Brandon Bernstead has your Oscar primer.
And the Oscar goes to... On Hollywood's biggest night, anything can happen.
Guys, I'm sorry. No, there's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. And the 90th Annual Academy Awards come at a unique time for the film industry.
There's going to be a lot of glamour, but also a lot of really serious contemplation about where the industry is, how we can make it a better place for, you know, women directors and people of color, and how we can diversify.
Beth Barrett knows movies. She's the Seattle International Film Festival's artistic director, the first female to hold the position. Fresh off a trip scouting new films at the Berlin Film Festival, she joined me to break down the Oscars' most intriguing races.
Because I wanted to start with maybe the most competitive category of the night, and to me that's original screenplay.
Yeah.
Where you've got Get Out, and you've got Lady Bird, Three Billboards, Shape of Water, and The Big Sick.
Yeah.
As you look at that, who do you like in that category?
Jordan Peele. I really think Get Out was such an amazing script. He wrote it like 45 different times. I mean, he spent so long on it, and it's so clever, and it hit the zeitgeist so beautifully and perfectly that I really think the Academy is going to reward that.
Peele also earned a Best Director nomination for Get Out, but the prohibitive favorite is Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water.
I think it's Del Toro's night. I really do. I think that, which will make the third Mexican director in 5 years to win a Best Director.
If you're looking for a surprise, keep an eye on Best Supporting Actress. I, Tanya's Allison Janney has steamrolled through award season, but Lady Bird's Laurie Metcalf is a serious contender.
I absolutely refuse to choose Best Supporting Actress, simply because Allison Janney is so perfect in her role. And Laurie Metcalf is so perfect in her role that either of them, I think, has an equal chance.
Expect a big night for the cast of 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Sam Rockwell is expected to take Best Supporting Actor, while the film star, Frances McDormand, might as well start practicing her acceptance speech now. She's a lock for Best Actress.
She just was that character, and the whole film relies on you having enough empathy for her, not really truly like supporting her because she's doing some things that maybe are not spectacularly great, but have enough empathy for her that you can see where that feeling is coming from. And it would be a surprise if anyone else won.
Best Actor will likely come down to a battle between 2 veterans, Gary Oldman for his portrayal of Winston Churchill in The Darkest Hour, and Daniel Day-Lewis for The Phantom Thread.
You know, I think the Academy loves when people play other people, historical figures. They love the prosthetics. They love I didn't know that was Gary Oldman for the longest time. They love that. But I also think, Daniel Day-Lewis and his final film, terrific performance.
As we look at Best Picture, obviously 3 Billboards, one of the favorites, The Shape of Water's in there, Get Out's in there. Mm-hmm. Who takes home the trophy at the end of the night?
I think it's going to be Shape of Water. That sort of fairy tale feeling that was created, I think really resonated with the Academy voters. That belief that you can choose outside. You don't have to live in the rage. You don't have to live in the unhappiness. You don't have to live in a place that you feel stuck. I think that there's a lot of hope in that film that you didn't see in 3 Billboards that I think the Academy voters really want.
Will The Shape of Water take its place among film's immortals, or do the Oscars have another shocker in store? We'll find out Sunday night. For Seattle Refined, I'm Brandon Bernstead.
Oscar Sunday starts at 3:30 live from the red carpet, followed by the main event at 5. You can catch it all right here on KOMO 4. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Refined. A Northwest man is living proof that knowledge is power, and it's never too late to turn your life around. KOMO's Ryan Yamamoto shows us how his second chance at happiness led to a rare shot at the Jeopardy Daily Double.
This is Jeopardy!
Inside Alan Harrison's Seattle apartment, you may find him on his couch adding to the useless knowledge already inside his head.
There are times that I'd like to erase some parts of my brain, and then put in the stuff that might be useful someday.
A master of trivial things doesn't make you immune from life's real problems. That's because in 2010, Alan Harrison got a divorce, lost his job, and began drying up all his savings.
And it really beat me up.
Alan had hit rock bottom.
Frankly, I didn't think I was going to make it past a certain year, that at some point I was just going to drive off a cliff or something.
But 2 years ago, his life turned the corner. He met a new girlfriend, Donna, went back to school, earned a degree, got a job, and while sitting on his couch, his son Danny gave him an idea.
Danny and I would watch Jeopardy every night, and I'd mumble the answer under my breath for every question, and sometimes he'd look at me, how do you know that? I don't know how I know that. I kind of wish I didn't know that, but I know that. Well, put it to use.
So last year, despite the self-doubt, he decided to try out. He aced the online test, and when Jeopardy scouts came to town, he was invited to the live auditions at the Westin Hotel. Alan impressed them enough to become a contestant.
So these are the 2 books I used.
He studied and prepared for everything.
Here's stuff about the presidents.
And in October, he flew down to Los Angeles for the taping of the show, a chance to meet game show royalty.
He just sort of comes out and you say, oh, that guy looks like Alex Trebek. And then you say, oh, no, wait, that really is Alex Trebek.
This Seattle Mariners fan is going to be on Jeopardy!
Who is Alan Harrison? That's me!
And while he cannot reveal how he did on the show, he admits things will get a little sweaty.
You notice I like to wear vests. It doesn't show, the pit stains don't show when you're wearing a vest. Especially when you have your hand like this in an extended period of time with a button.
Alan had a great 3-day run on Jeopardy, but did finally go home earlier this week, but not before doing the Northwest proud. Congratulations, Alan. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Gart Swanson. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you right back here on Seattle Refined.